Welcome to InspireHER, the program designed to uplift, motivate, and empower women to live with purpose and impact. This show comes to you on the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's first and only 100% motivational television station, broadcasting from the School of Eloquence in Ikoyi, Lagos. Each week on InspireHER, we bring you powerful conversations, practical insights, and inspiring stories that remind women everywhere that they are capable of achieving greatness. I'm your host, Onome Igugu, and I'm joined by two remarkable co-hosts, Esther Evbodaghe, a seasoned finance professional, entrepreneur, and mentor with over 2 decades of experience in the banking sector, and Ngozi Ochuba, a dedicated pharmacist, wellness advocate, and midlife reinvention coach who empowers women to embrace health, wholeness, and new beginnings. Together, these phenomenal women will guide today's discussion on value-based leadership, building integrity and character. We'll explore how values shape credibility, why character is the foundation of lasting influence, and how women leaders can pass on integrity to the next generation. So stay with us to the next 35 to 45 minutes as we inspire, challenge, and empower you right here on InspireHER. They say leadership without values is like a house built without foundation. Today we're talking about leadership, we're talking about values, and we're talking about effectiveness. So let's start from the very beginning. I don't want to assume that everyone understands what it means to have value-based leadership. So let's start from the very beginning, what value-based leadership is all about. I'll start with you, Ngozi, of course. All right. Okay. You look very pretty, by the way. So what is value-based leadership?
Okay, thank you, Onome, and good morning once again.
Good morning.
When we say value-based leadership, it should be leadership that is based on somebody's core beliefs. Because the things you believe in will shape on your values, the values that you embrace, and also determine how effective you would be.
Okay.
You know, your credibility, your integrity, and that will affect the effectiveness of your leadership style.
I'm trying to get the connection between leadership, values, and credibility. I don't know if you can connect
values
the dots
are
for
the
me.
things the morals that you hold in high esteem. For example, honesty, maybe integrity, hard work. Things like that, those are the values, and these values come from your beliefs, what you really, your deep beliefs, your core beliefs, which is like the compass in you that directs you in what is right and what is wrong, and the things you should embrace and the things you shouldn't. So when you say, for example, that you believe in hard work, or you say you believe in honesty, then it has to align with how you do things, your leadership style. People should see those things you talk about, that's your beliefs and your values. They should see it play out in the way you do things, your character, the actions you take, the way you approach issues. They should see a consistency in the things you do with respect to those values that you say that you have or that you believe in.
Okay, so your words should align with your action. Exactly.
In short,
okay.
That is it.
Okay, all right.
Today's topic is a special one.
Okay.
We've talked about leadership so many times on this platform, but today's topic is very special because we are diving into a kind of leadership that is grounded in values and integrity and character. And the world is expecting a kind of leadership from us as women, a kind of leadership that is rooted in values, integrity, and character.
Okay.
So what that means is that as a woman, your leadership is not all about your title. Your leadership is about your values, the values that you are passing to your team. So leading like a woman who has value, integrity, and character is very important, because these are values that, you know, are value-based when you talk of value-based leadership. So you must have integrity and character. So those are the kind of leadership qualities that people expect to see. So as a woman, you know, your leadership is not about your title. It's not about how loud your voice is in the room. It's about your ability to make the right decisions that reflect who you are.
Who you are.
The right decision that reflects your value. Ability to make those decisions that people will generally not clap for, but they are honest decisions. Those are value-based leadership. And you know, you cannot talk about value-based leadership without talking about integrity. I always say to people that integrity is who you are. Integrity is being the same person even when no one is watching you. Integrity is keeping to your promise. Integrity is owning your truth. Integrity is standing up for something that is right even when every other person is silent. That is what integrity is all about. And as women, our integrity is often tested. People expect you to keep quiet, compromise, or even fit in. And if you are able to stand your ground with grace, you don't only protect your value as a woman, you raise the bar for the next generation of women. And you cannot talk about integrity without talking about character, because integrity and character, they go pari passu. So if you want to value integrity, then you must be prepared to value character. And character is who you are at your very core. Character is the courage to rise after a fall. Character is the discipline to say the truth even when it will cost you. Character is the ability to show kindness and lift others even when it is difficult. So you see that integrity and character, they go together.
Yes.
So now, character is your strength in action. So if you are modeling character, you have to ensure that you model it with integrity. Your character is what will determine whether your influence will fade, whether it will echo or evaporate. So your character, I've said it on this platform, that your talent will open doors for you, but it is your character that will keep those doors open.
True.
So it is very important that you have character. Character is very key in value-based leadership. So for every woman, I say to them that you have to ensure that you have both values, integrity, and character. Because we don't need more perfect people. What we need is people with integrity, people with character, people with values. So those are the things that people will remember you for when you are gone.
Exactly. So let's bring it home now so that they can actually understand. So it doesn't feel like we're just talking for talking's sake. So let's even talk about case studies, real life examples that people watching us out there can relate to. So I don't know if there are examples you would like to cite in terms of people who have actually lived through what we are talking about, whether it's values, whether it's integrity, whether it's character. So I don't know if you want to cite examples.
Okay, even before I go to, you know, mentioning names of well-known people, let's even bring it home to ourselves, our everyday lifestyle and activities and the businesses we do. For example, if you go online nowadays, you hear a lot of people complain. There's this slogan that the young people put online a lot. They'll say, what I ordered versus what I got.
Yes.
So that means somebody presented a false image, a deceptive image of who they are or what they are offering you, and you believed it and you put out your money there, and at the end of the day, you're getting something different. That is all. That is exactly what we're talking about.
Yes.
Can your words align with your action? Can your truths actually be true at the end of the day? Who really are you? The things you say you stand for, do you just say you stand for them for appearance sake? When you go behind the door, you are somebody different. That is what we're talking about. If you look at the political class of today, we have a lot of problem with the promises that are made to us and what we finally get when these people get into office. And if you look at, like what Madam Esther said, we're not looking for perfect people. So even within us as individuals, are we even living a life of integrity? Are we people of character? Are we people of noble character that people can look up to? So, I said, let me first bring it even to ourselves. Before we start going far to look at those big names or those names in the history book, between you and I, between the young man there in his office that is signing contracts, is he inflating figures? The truth he said, is that what is really on paper? Me as a pharmacist, for example, let me give you an example of an encounter I had in the pharmacy. I think that was today is Tuesday, right? So that should be on Saturday. A young man walked into the pharmacy and he wanted a particular medication. And I was like, why do you want this? He said it's not for me, but the person who wants this have body pains. I said, okay, this is good for body pains, but if you have an ulcer, you can't use this. So please tell the person we won't be able to sell this. If you're sure the person has an ulcer, just tell the person to go ahead and just do paracetamol. That when we can't help you, we'd rather leave you how you are than worsen your situation. He was surprised. Then he also said he mentioned an antibiotic, a popular brand. And I said, who wants this antibiotic? I said, an antibiotic is used when there's a proven case or there's a suspicion that there's an infection. So if there's no infection and your doctor is not suspecting there is one and you don't have any, you don't need this. He was like, well, he usually buys it. I said, well, I'm not going to sell to you because it's an antibiotic. If you don't use it properly.
Doesn't she want to sell her drugs?
I'm coming, I'm getting somewhere. I said, because if you don't use it properly, you only end up worsening your situation because you end up killing your own natural immune system. Your defense mechanism, you weaken it. He was still standing there his mouth almost wide open. I said, well, so what's the problem? He said, madam, I'm surprised. You mean 2 drugs you sold none? That this is the first time it's happening to him. I said, yes, these 2 drugs, if you had bought them, I would have made 12,000 naira. I said, if I make 12,000 naira and you end up not getting the benefits of what use is to me. But now I think we've struck a relationship. I'm sure you're going to come back when you really need something from us. I said he will surely come back. So that is what integrity is all about. You're not looking at just the profits. You're not looking at just the gain. You're looking at doing what is right. You're looking at doing what you know is right, is just. And if you consistently do the right thing, with time, the gains will come. So
I like what she said, because you know how they say, who do people say you are? Like she rightly said while she was also making her own point. Because most times we're like, this is what this individual said about me. But the thing is about impression, perception, the aura that you give. When you go into a certain conversation, do people trust you to deliver on your promises? Just like you were talking about what I ordered and versus what I got. The truth is, a majority of us will go online, pick a couple of beautiful images and push it out there, the narrative, like they were the ones who actually came up with that particular designs. And when it's time to deliver, it's a different ball game. So if I were to put out my work, let it actually be what I have done. You understand? Something that I made.
So we need to
be
so
honest. We understand. So if this is the value I'm offering to people, it means that I'm likely to reproduce that same value. But right now we'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Please, let's stay tuned.
Do you feel terrified when speaking before a group? Are you stressed when asked to present? Do you bore people when speaking? Are you stuck with reading word for word? How do you give a speech with polish? Learn how at the School of Eloquence,
the home of public speaking. Attend our practical coaching in public speaking. Call 0802 303 2066 or log on to schoolofeloquence.org.
School of Eloquence, teaching the world to speak.
All right, so welcome back to InspireHER, and we are continuing our conversation talking about value-based leadership and building integrity. And just before we went on break, we were talking about what I ordered versus what was delivered. But I want us to actually cite some case studies because we're actually having that conversation before we started talking about our personal stories. So I want us to cite real life situation, things that people can actually go online and they're like, okay, yeah, what this woman talked about is actually real. I saw this, I saw this and this online. So can we talk about some things that have happened, whether Nigerians, whether people globally, abroad? Let's talk about situations, people who have actually built some of these things that we are talking about, whether it's value, whether it's character, whether it's integrity. Let's share some of those stories. You want to go first?
Let Madam Esther take it.
I will follow up from where Ngozi stopped.
Okay. So,
I would just like to give some case study of people that we all know about.
Okay.
We know their stories. It's out. It's not hidden. You know, I'd like to start with the late Professor Dora Akunluyi.
Yes.
Wow. You all know her.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Former Director General of NAFDAC. We all saw her integrity in action, how she risked her life, battled the counterfeit drug dealers, cartels in Nigeria. She left a legacy, and she brought Nigerians confidence in the food and drug system, to show that you can actually, you know, have confidence in the Nigerian food and drug system. And she left a legacy to show that a woman's integrity can save millions of lives. You also know the story of Dr. Ngozi Ochuba,
Yes.
Former finance minister in Nigeria, and now Director General of World Trade Organization.
Yes.
You all know her story, and you can see her integrity and leadership in action. She is known globally. You know how she fought corruption in government and insisted that there must be transparency in government finances. She is known all over as a reformer, one who stands for accountability. And her reputation for integrity has earned her leadership roles in what stage. And of course, you know Ibuku and Woshika.
Yes.
I use her in most of my examples.
Yes, you do a lot because
you can all
living
see her.
inspiration. Yeah,
That woman, she does not compromise ethical standards, both in corporate and entrepreneurship. So we all know her. We can see her integrity in action, how she would walk away from partnership and contracts that conflicts with her core value. And she's known for saying, I'd rather lose that contract, that deal, than lose my name.
then lose herself.
So there are so many of them
So
that
many.
you can mention, but I'll just leave it at these three.
Okay. Do you want to cite any example?
Maybe if we go back to history, we can go to women who fought for, you know, their values and their beliefs in the early days of Nigeria. We can cite women like Ransom Kuti. Yeah. What's her first name? Funmilayo, right. Funmilayo Ransom Kuti.
Yeah.
You know, I read somewhere that she actually changed her name from, I think, Francesca. She had an English name. She believed in her own cultural, you know, system. She believed in the power of her true identity. So she didn't understand why they should give her a foreign name and insist that she should project that name. That is not who she really is. So she dropped her name when it was not something that anybody had the confidence to do. But as a woman, she stood for what she believed in. She said if she doesn't trust who she is, and if she doesn't like who she is, and she doesn't believe in her own culture, then how is she going to make other people believe in who she is? So that she made us understand that being black and being woman has nothing to do with how successful you're going to be. We don't need to, pretend to be a white person. That we are enough how we are. And she dropped those names. And again, you know that because she's a woman who believed in equality too, she organized the women. I read that she organized the women in her era, formed an association so that they could challenge the taxation. The women were being unjustly taxed.
Yes.
And she challenged that norm. And so many things she did because she believed in equality, she believed in justice, and she believed in her true personality. That you don't make her feel like she's inferior. She believed in all those things and she fought those things. She ended up in prison island, when you read the books, but that did not make her back out. She was courageous. She stood for her core beliefs.
And it didn't change her.
Yes.
I'm just taking it back to everyday Nigerians again. Just like when you get to the market and probably you want to slice vegetable. I remember going to the market with a friend and wanted to slice vegetable. I was like, okay, since I've already told her what I wanted, let's go get something. And she was like, no, you're leaving this woman. She's going to drop some vegetables and probably give you less. So I'm just saying how we see certain things, and it's also based on the experiences that we've had.
Yeah.
So going back to the question we asked earlier, who do people say you are? Right. Can someone trust you with their products? Can someone trust you with their belongings? Can someone trust you with their child? It goes back to everything that we do every day. So it's easy to point fingers. Madam Ngozi had this opportunity. Madam Esther had this opportunity. How about you? There are things that our children sometimes they do and we're like, I don't know where he or she got that character from, but sometimes it's actually from us parents because they see some of the things that we do. You understand? So some of these values, they actually start from the home. So it's easy to point fingers, but right now, for some of those children that you have in your care, what are you actually impacting in the lives of those children? So I just wanted us to kind of bring it back home to everyday life, so the things that we do, so that we can actually understand where it's coming from. So if your child says certain things, are you willing to say that, boldly or confidently say that, he or she learns that from you, or learns that from their father? All right, so how then do we cultivate ethical decision-making in our professional, whether professional or personal life? Let me start with you.
Okay, to cultivate ethical decision-making in public and private life, I think the first thing you need to do is self-assessment. You really need to examine yourself and truly find out what your core beliefs are. What are the values that you take, what are the values that align with your character, your personality? So these are the things that would help you, decide and help you model how you handle things and take decisions in public. Because once you know what you believe in, is it honesty? Is it hard work? Is it truthfulness? Is it justice? Is it kindness? Then you find out that you are consistently applying that in tackling different issues when they come out. So you find out that you are consistent. And if you know what these things are, then you have to create structure around it. You create a structure on how you handle issues when they come up. Like the case she cited of Okonjo-Iweala, I learned that she created structures that would help you fall into line. So you find out that when you come into the organization, it's easier to be transparent because of the kind of structures that you find that you are operating with. It's easier to be transparent. So you create structures around your core belief. You create structures around how you want things to be handled. That's like in your business or public life. And you make sure that your values and your beliefs are aligned both in public and private life. So when you say you're a honest person, even in your personal dealings, you project that. And in your public space, in your public life, so we should see that playing out. So you are the same person, so you are consistent with what you project out there. That is one of the things you could do to help your...
All right. Thank you. How about you?
I would say ethical decision making is about choosing the right thing. It's not about choosing what is easy. It's about choosing what is right, even when it is difficult. So ethical decision is about, you know, it takes discipline to build ethical decision. For those women who are navigating their careers, leadership roles, or maybe they are mentoring other people, it is a discipline that you must build daily. And the way to do that is to know your values. And for you to know your values, you must have clarity. You must be honest with yourself.
What you stand for.
What you stand for. You must ask yourself some genuine question. Who am I? Do I have integrity? Do I have character? Am I honest? Do I speak up for the truth? Do I have respect? These are not questions anybody will answer for you. It's a question that you have to answer for yourself. And when you know what your values are, then it becomes easy to make decisions. And in ethical decision making, you have to be careful. You need to pause and reflect. You pause and ask yourself some genuine question. This decision I'm about to make, is it honest? Is it fair? Will I be proud of this decision or this thing I'm about to do if it is made public? You will be surprised that a moment of reflection can save you from a lifetime of regrets.
True.
So, ethical decision is about, thinking long term. Because your short term, if you think short term, ethical short thinking can give you quick wins. But it erodes trust. And trust is everything, both in relationship, in teams, and in leadership. I always tell people, choose the path that builds and not the path that destroys or that erodes trust. So ethical decision making is about listening to others.
Okay.
You don't know everything. Nobody's a monopoly of knowledge.
True.
So you must learn to listen to other perspectives, get other ideas. That is ethical decision making. And you must learn to lead by example in ethical decision making. People want to see the kind of decisions you take. Are they the kind of decisions that they would say, okay, this is the way to go? We want to go in it. So that is what ethical decision making is all about.
We've said a lot today. So how then do we pass values to the next generation of women, whether young girls? How then do we do that?
Okay, thank you. We've been talking about value-based leadership. So I think women in positions of leadership, and I think most women we are. It doesn't necessarily have to be leadership in an office or a political position. So wherever you are, we need to be intentional. You understand? We need to be intentional in creating structures that would help us carry the ones coming, following us, carrying them along. Even when we are making decisions. We've been talking about value-based leadership and decision making. So when decisions are being made, you have to be open to them and explain to them, let them understand why you've taken certain decisions, why you didn't go maybe an expected way, and you deviated and went another way. The reasons for that, and the things, the values you consider, and the beliefs you have that makes you consistently take some form of decision. That way, you carry them along. So what you know, you teach them. What you know, you teach. Then they learn. When they learn, then they can pass on. So the cycle continues. So there should be intentional mentorship structures created by women in positions, to be able to help the other ones come in behind them to also grasp what they know. That is one. Then we should also create safe spaces. Even at home, in offices, women should be free to come to you, with their genuine concerns. You may have given them tasks to do. You may have given them leadership roles to play because they are under you and they are having challenges. You should be that leader that is accommodating, that leader that is like a mother figure, that they can walk up to you and genuinely tell you what their weaknesses are, their challenges and concerns are, and you should be able to sit them down and constructively engage them and teach them and let them know how to handle this. That way you're building another generation of leaders that will take over from you.
Confident leaders.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, Madam Esther.
Well, I would say this particular question is very emotional. I say so because, we are talking about passing on value to the next generation of female leaders. And it's something we have to be very careful about. Something we have to do with intention. You see, the world is looking for future leaders that will lead with values, integrity, and character. So in passing on values to this generation of leaders, we have to model the right values that we want them to see. It's not about talking. I have said it before on this platform that the women of this generation are very smart and I love them. You don't just tell them, follow me, and they follow you. No. They want to see you make tough decisions. They want to see you stand up for what is right. They want to see you lift others even when you are tired before they can follow you. So I want to say here that values are not things you inherit. They are not properties. They are not cars. They are not houses. Values are things you model. Values are things you live out for people to see. You live it loud for the next generation to see. So that is one way that you can pass value to the next generation. And don't forget that what we are talking about is shaping the future. So we are passing to the next generation a torch. And we have to be very careful how we pass this torch to them. And another way you can pass value to the next generation is you have to tell your authentic stories. Don't lie to them. They are smart. Even when you are lying, they know. So tell your failures. Tell your challenges. Tell your struggles. They want to know how were you able to handle those things even when it was difficult. Then share your wins with them. Stories are very powerful because people can connect with stories. When you tell your stories, your authentic stories, then they begin to believe in their own stories. Another way you can pass value to the next generation is to encourage voice. Teach them how to speak up and not just measure up. They should learn to speak up. Let them know that their voice does not have to be perfect, but it has to be authentic. It is very important that they know that. Then another way you can pass value to the next generation is to create space for them at the table, because that is empowerment. Don't feed them from the side. Let them know that they belong to the table. So that way you are empowering them. So that is very important. And don't forget to model character to them. because character is who you are at your very core. Character is who you are when nobody is watching you. Character is that silent voice that says, do the right thing, even when nobody claps for you. Character is your anchor when the storms of life hit you. Because you cannot guarantee anything. Storms will surely come.
Definitely.
But your character will be your anchor. So I would just say, the world is not looking for more perfect people. I've said it before and I'm saying it again. The world is looking for people who are honest, people who have character, people who have integrity, people who will lift others as they climb. So that's where.
All right. And just to add to what she said, people who live their truth.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. Today, we explored value-based leadership, building integrity and character. We trust you've been encouraged to lead with values, cultivate credibility, and embrace character as the foundation for lasting influence. A special thank you to Esther and Ngozi for steering us through this empowering conversation. Join us again for another inspiring edition of InspireHER, where we continue to celebrate resilience, purpose, and the power of women. Let's continue this important conversation on our social media channels at Achievement Channel on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube for more inspiring content and updates. Use the hashtag #WeSeePossibilities and share your thoughts with us. Until then, remember, women lead with values. They build legacies that stand the test of time.
Ms. Bodia Bifare, please keep watching the Achievement Channel. Tune in, support them, like, subscribe. Yes, Achievement Channel.
Hello everyone, my name is Ngozi Ochuba. If you know you're looking out for anything to do with innovation, motivation in Nigeria or Africa, please watch out for Achievement Channel.